or glue wine, whatever floats your boat.
Did you come for a cuddle?
This is so much harder than it looks. Nothing goes as planned. That is gonna save me so much frustration. I was always a little bit afraid of Santa Claus. Good morning. A very, very warm welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. I am very, very excited about this. If you're new here, my name is Naomi. I live in the beautiful countryside of the Netherlands, and usually I kind of just take you along my days here around the farmhouse. I usually have some kind of DIY or home improvement project going on, but for Vlogmas, obviously I'll be doing one video every day all the way up to Christmas, and it'll just be a little bit more of us just hanging out. I will leave a little bit more in of the things that I would usually cut out of my videos, and I will probably be doing a lot more talking. So I'm gonna go get myself a little bit of breakfast and a hot cup of tea. I suggest you do the same, or coffee or glue wine, whatever floats your boat. There are a couple of projects that I would really like to get started on this month. There's a really cool project I want to do here in the kitchen. I also really would like to get started on the backsplash of the kitchen. If you know, you know. And maybe I can get started on something around the fireplace, because that is something that I think can be improved a lot. But besides that, anything can happen. I'm not going to make any hard promises. I'm not going to set anything in stone, because I remember from last year during Vlogmas, nothing goes as planned. So I'm just gonna take you along my days here in the very cold and often very rainy Netherlands, and we'll just see what happens. Now, usually I have a Christmas Pinterest board going way before I even start decorating, but this year I haven't really had the time, so I get to start from scratch this time. I, however, will obviously not be buying all kinds of new things because I want a different theme each year, and I also kind of always forget what I already have and what I don't have, so I kind of have to unpack all of my Christmas decor before I go shopping for anything. But every year I kind of allow myself to buy a couple of new Christmas things so that we can grow our Christmas decor collection, because we have a big house. So Christmas decor kind of seems to disappear once you put it out. So I like to get inspired by browsing a little bit through Pinterest, especially for little ideas that I can DIY myself. But I also will just be adding on to a collection that I already have.
Did you come for a cuddle?
Very cuddly today. Last year, I added some of those lovely burgundy tones, and I think I will just be adding on to that. I really like that color. I do, however, also really like this vibe, the red and white checkered fabrics, so maybe I can make some ribbons or something out of this. I think that would be lovely. It feels a little bit like an old-fashioned Christmas style to me. It's also very farmhousey, so I think it's really, really cool. So let me make a little bit of a Pinterest board just so that I have a little bit of a vibe, and then I'll share that with you, and then we're just gonna get out all of the Christmas decor and see what I have. A while ago, one of you had a really good idea, which was turning that tapestry around for Christmas, because the backside is also very beautiful. Because the backside is this color. And I thought that was a really, really good idea. So that is what we're gonna do. I am very curious though, could I secure this? Can I do that by hand or? Oh, I think I can.
I am packing my bags, I am leaving.
tag.
going
I need to cut off the tag.
or roam.
This is so much harder than it looks.
That I used to call my home. Maybe I'm going to
I like that. I think it looks very festive. Some of you actually mentioned that it might be a good idea to put a wooden dowel at the bottom, or a wooden anything like a piece of wood at the bottom to weigh it down and also stretch it out a little bit so that you don't have these wavy bits in the center, which is still actually a pretty good idea. I might still do that. So I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind. So last year we invested in a new tree for 2 reasons, one of which I totally forgot. But the first reason was that the traditional Christmas tree usually is quite wide at the bottom, and so it stands pretty far away from the wall, which I always found a little bit tricky decorating wise. I always thought it was a little weird that it came so far into the room, but you can't really do anything with the space that's behind it. So I wanted to get a narrower tree. Does this go here? But additionally, I really hate putting those lights in. It was always a struggle. I would always get completely tangled up with them. So I really wanted a tree that already had the lights built in, and I totally forgot that. So I just grabbed the box and I realized it, and I was like, oh, that is gonna save me so much frustration. So I'm just gonna fluff it up a little bit. I see that I don't really have to do it very much because I didn't squish it too much when I put it in the box, apparently. So this shouldn't take too long. I think this is a beautiful tree though. It's really stunning. It has a couple of those a little bit more realistic branches on them. So there's the traditional kind of papery needles, and then there's the plasticky ones, which just look a little bit more natural, which is really nice. It's a beautiful, typically Dutch weather today. We had torrential rain in the morning. It was even a little bit too dark to film this morning, so I can only kind of film in the kitchen where I am very close to the window. And now there is bright sunshine, but with a lot of clouds. So if you see the light changing all the time, that is why. It's such a pretty tree. I am so glad that I did the curtains before Christmas. It's gonna look so good. These curtains still make me very happy. I know I'm a very indecisive person, and very often when I do a project, I am not happy the very first time, but with those curtains, I am very satisfied with the fabric that I chose and the way they're hanging. It's just lovely. I think that's good enough. Our supervisor has fallen asleep. How do we feel about that? Huh? So we just had a quick lunch, and I figured I would continue with the tree after that, and now it's dark. So the sun is gone. That was fun while it lasted. So we're gonna continue, but I'm just gonna have to see if it's still doable. Look at that super dark sky over there. I guess it's gonna rain. So what happens is if it's too dark, my camera will just stop working properly. It's gonna record very kind of stuttery and slow, but for now it seems to be okay, especially if I stay close to the window. So I'm just gonna set up my camera here, and we're gonna keep going. Let me see if I can make the lights go a little brighter. Does that do something? I mean, it's definitely giving cozy vibes. So we've got a box full of ornaments. So pretty. I think I want to get more of this stuff, the weird things that don't really belong in a tree. I like that. So last year, about 2 minutes after I set up the tree, I got a text from my neighbor asking, "Is that a Christmas tree I'm seeing?" Because she can see it through the window. And I was like, oh boy. A stickler for the unwritten rule of not setting up your Christmas tree until after Sinterklaas. Because we actually have another holiday here in the Netherlands that is on the 5th of December called Sinterklaas. It is a little bit similar, but also not so much to Christmas. Generally, especially if you have kids, you don't really set up your tree until after Sinterklaas, so after the 5th of December. I don't have the patience for that. And also, we decided quite a long time ago that we don't celebrate Sinterklaas here. Because just as with Christmas, you know, the kids eventually reach an age where they realize that you've been lying to them their whole lives and Sinterklaas is not real. That time has passed with Ruben a couple of years ago, so we don't really do it anymore. We just decided as a family that we would focus more on Christmas. So what very many families do is they will do a lot of presents on Sinterklaas on the 5th of December, and then they will either not do any presents for Christmas or just a couple. So the major holiday for kids here is Sinterklaas and not Christmas. We decided to turn that around. So we actually don't do Sinterklaas and then we do presents with Christmas because we enjoy the holiday so much more. Also, I am just not really a big fan of Sinterklaas. It's not my favorite holiday. It never has been my favorite holiday. I don't like the songs. I find them very annoying. And also, I think maybe I have a little bit of residual trauma from when I was little because, you know, with Santa, kids are taught that if you're not good, you will go on the bad list, right? And you might not get any presents. And that is kind of the worst that could happen to you. But when I was a kid, we were told that if we were not good, Sinterklaas would come and take you away. And they will take you to Spain because that's where he lives. They will take you away in a bag to Spain. They even had, I don't know what that's called, but like a bunch of sticks that they would hit you with. So I was always a little bit afraid of Sinterklaas and his helpers, which by the way is a whole different controversy here in the Netherlands. So yes, our tree is up. Oh, the sun is back. Always a surprise. So yeah, we set up the tree pretty early. But the funny thing was, when I replied to my neighbor saying, yes, my Christmas tree is up, she replied saying, that means I can put up my lights. Because apparently her husband had said that it was too early, but she actually really wanted to put her Christmas lights out. So I was like, yes, go for it. So now, this year, she was even earlier than I was. But she explained later that she actually had kind of an unwritten agreement with the people that lived here before us that she wouldn't decorate until after Sinterklaas because they had kids. So that is all cleared up. She can decorate for Christmas whenever she wants. I say the earlier the better. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. I'm just gonna have to go shopping for a little bit more things to put in here. I would like a little more of this stuff, like leaves and twigs. I believe I have another 1 or 2 of these maybe upstairs, so I will look that up later. We definitely need a couple more things. So the tree is up. Obviously I have way more decor than just a tree, but as I showed you, it's getting a little bit dark. I'm getting hungry, so I'm just gonna very quickly make us a meal. And then we'll do the rest of the decorations tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 2. Now, for the rest of the month, as I said, I have a couple of things that I really wanted to get done. Obviously, I won't be able to do a whole DIY project every day. So if there is anything that you would like to see, I'll be doing the standard stuff. I'll be doing some DIY projects and baking and cooking and gardening and all that. But I obviously won't be doing a DIY project every day. That's a little much. So if there's anything that you would like to see or any ideas that you have, let me know in the comments. I'm very, very curious. And then I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We are having tikka masala, which I had canned about a year ago. So this just came out of a jar here, and I'm just adding a little bit of chicken that I had that had to be used up. And I'm making a little cucumber salad to go with it. And I'm just gonna serve it with a little rice, and that's gonna be very, very delicious. So for now, I'm gonna thank you so very much for watching. I very much hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Oh, dat is best nog veel. Weet je, tikka masala? He's lucky today.
Yeah, it's a lucky day.